You ever have that feeling? Where you've got your monthly budget totally nailed down, everything's running smoothly, and then bam! Some massive once-a-year bill just comes out of nowhere and throws everything off? Yeah, we've all been there. So today, we're going to talk about how to spot and, more importantly, how to tame those invisible annual expenses that can secretly wreck our financial plans. Let's jump in.
This quote from Jean Delumeau really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not the daily coffee that's going to sink your financial ship. It's the giant iceberg of forgotten costs that you just don't see coming. These are the expenses hiding in plain sight, just waiting for their due date to roll around and cause it total panic. So, just how big of a deal is this really? Well, let me tell you a quick story that perfectly shows how these costs can creep up on us completely under the radar. Okay, so meet Sandra. One day, she's just kind of curious, and she uses her banking app to add up all those expenses that only pop up once a year. Now, she thought she had a pretty good handle on her finances, but what she found was, well, it was a real eye-opener. And there it was, 2,400 euros. Wow, that is a huge chunk of change for costs that just come once a year. Sandra was, she was stunned. She had absolutely no idea it all added up to that much. But here's the good news. From that moment on, she knew she could plan for it, and she'd never be caught by surprise again. So, why does this happen to so many of us? It's a really common blind spot, almost like a psychological glitch. Our brains are just wired to focus on the here and now, the regular stuff, that monthly rhythm of our bills, while we kind of push those big, far-off costs to the back of our minds. Out of sight, out of mind, right? And look at the contrast right here. It's so clear when you see it laid out. On the left, you've got the usual suspects: rent, groceries, utilities. We see them every single month, so of course we budget for them. But on the right, whoa. Taxes, insurance premiums, car servicing, these are the big, infrequent hits that are just so easy to forget about until the bill arrives. And that right there is the trap. But hey, don't worry, because there is a super simple and honestly an incredibly effective strategy to get these costs under control. It's a two-step process that turns those nasty financial surprises into predictable, totally manageable plans.
And it really is this straightforward. First, you just shine a bright light on these hidden costs. Figure out exactly what they are and how much they add up to. Then, once you know your number, you can take real, concrete action to deal with it.
So, what exactly should you be looking for? Before I show you the list, just take a second. Think about your own life. What are those big bills that only seem to come around once, maybe twice a year for you? Okay, step one is all about investigation. It's time to put on your financial detective hat. Go back through your bank statements from the last year, hunt down every single recurring annual expense, and make a master list. Leave no stone unturned. And here's some of the most common culprits you'll probably find. We're talking about things like income or property taxes that aren't taken out automatically, those annual home and car insurance payments, that yearly car service or new tires. Oh, and don't forget back-to-school costs, holiday and birthday gifts, or those out-of-pocket medical things like new glasses or a dental visit. Okay, so you've made your list, you've added it all up, and now you have your big, scary annual expense number. The shock is over, now it's time for action. And you've got two fantastic options here. Option A is the simplest. Just call your providers. A lot of the time, your insurance company or even the tax authority will let you switch from one giant lump sum payment to a much more predictable monthly one. This smooths out the cost for you instantly. Option B gives you more control. If you can't pay it monthly, you just create your own system. Take your grand total, divide it by 12, and then set up an automatic transfer for that amount into a separate savings account each month. It basically becomes your personal fund just for those annual expenses.
So the most important part of all of this is turning this knowledge into a real habit. Let's wrap this all up into a final 5-point checklist that you can literally start using today.
All right, here it is. 1. Identify all your big annual costs. 2. Call up your providers and ask to pay monthly. 3. For everything else, create that dedicated savings plan. 4. Be thorough. Include taxes, insurance, gifts, everything. And 5. Divide that big total by 12 and save that amount every single month. And then, no more surprises. Okay, now that you have this powerful new framework, it's really important we put it into the right context before you get started. So, just so we're all on the same page, this is for educational purposes. We're sharing a framework, we're sharing ideas, but it is not personalized financial advice. Everyone's financial situation is totally unique.
So, before you make any big decisions, it's absolutely crucial that you do your own research and think about your personal goals and your circumstances. After all, you're the one in the driver's seat of your financial journey.
And I want to leave you with this fantastic thought from the legendary Charlie Munger. We've given you the ideas, right? We've given you the building blocks, but the real power, that comes when you take these concepts and use your own brain to put together a plan that works perfectly for you. So my question is, what's the one annual expense you're going to go tackle first?